Bapanada and welcome to the last video of the year and the biggest Silksong news of the year. As some of you may know, Edge Magazine did an interview with Team Cherry, the developers of Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong. And well, today they released the article, so I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. And well, this article is actually quite huge. I will dedicate an entire video to just talk about the in-game screenshots another time if you want to see that, so this one will be just about the text, but I promise it's also very interesting. And Team Cherry even talks about what they plan on doing after Silksong has released. But let's just start from the beginning. First off, I want to start by citing the article. This world is terrifying and beautiful. In mossy, humid groves, glowing spores sway in the air. Winged beetles perch on the walls like razor-mauled parrots, suckling moisture out of the lichen. Lakes of lava bubble thickly below an old town built of bone. Our footsteps ring out across a chamber lined with the husks of ancient bells. At the end of it, we spy an unfortunate creature struggling in a silk cocoon, keening softly. Eventually, we find the means to free it, and then it pounces. So seeing how the article continues, I think this is somewhat of a summary of some of the things that Jen Simpkins, the editor of this article, saw in the demo, because William and Ari of Team Cherry played some of the game to her and she watched them play. So yeah, let's just continue. An interesting detail that I saw is that the official language of Silksong is noted down well as notes. This is of course very much in line with the overall theme of Silksong, because the song is literally in the title. Ari and William also talk about how Hornet's height and abilities influence the game, making the caves and landscapes she goes through naturally bigger as the gaps have to be further apart. William says that it took him 1.5 years to realize every change they have to make, just because Hornet is taller than a knight. When compared to Hollow Knight, Silksong will have more blades and traps and less glowy magical things. This means the world might have a more physical and raw feel to it when compared to Hollow Knight's style. William then goes on to tell us about how Silksong's enemies are more complex than those of Hollow Knight. He says that even the most complex enemies from Hollow Knight are a level below Silksong's complexer enemies. This will most likely mean that the non-boss enemies in this game will pose a greater threat. And as he says later on, some enemies are able to cancel out some of your abilities. For example, Hornet seems to have some kind of hook shot ability, which enemies with scissors can just cut. Then they go on to talk about how the development started, and it started in the Bone Forest area, which is also home to a hub town, Bone Bottom. We've seen Bone Bottom a few times before, and it seems to be this village right here. And it seems to be right on the edge of Moss Grotto, where we eventually start out, and the Forest of Bones, aka Deep Dogs, aka Hot Lava area. This is also the place where this tunnel here is, which is apparently called the Marrow. This is also where we run into our fast traveling system, which is a bug which needs to be fought and then apparently disappears. So we cannot use the fast traveling system from the beginning on. Benches also return, but according to the gameplay, Chen, the editor of this article, saw one of the benches had a built-in rosary station, which lets you string up some of your currency so that it stays in your inventory if you die. According to Ari, there are like 100 different benches in the game, but I wouldn't take that literally. But it is still an indicator of sorts, at least proving that Silksong will be big and bigger than Hollow Knight. A very cool detail is that apparently Hornet's tools, which are like the charms from Hollow Knight, are not just found in the wild. Hornet might see an enemy throw an interesting weapon and note it down, which she then uses by making a new weapon and giving it her own touch. And if that were not enough, there's also the ability to upgrade the tools. A very interesting thing the developers say is the following. The initial hook is to get to the Citadel, which is at the top of the world. And then, the next thing players might be presented with is get to the top of the Citadel. Ari Gibson then interjects, "You're saying too much." And Palin laughs, "Is that too much?" So, again, some people said that the end goal of Silksong will be to get up on the Citadel, but if you've played Hollow Knight, you will know that even going down was not the end goal of the game. I think Team Cherry will have one or two surprises in store for us when it comes to the end goal of the game. They also talk about how some enemies might visibly carry around items, which you can then get by killing them. For example, if a bug flies around with a mossberry. Or that some early game enemies deal 2 masks of damage because Hornet is able to heal more anyway. Or how Hornet supposedly has a drilling ability. Also, finally, as probably the biggest info, Team Cherry talks about the next game after Silksong, which is supposedly just one Google document as of now, but it will be expanded upon as soon as Silksong is out and probably even before that. In my opinion, Silksong will be out soon. Silksong seems to be, and I'm really reading into this, but it seems to be in a polishing state. So this state might take half a year or 20 years, I don't know, but I think that they are done with the game and they are just polishing it right now. And yeah, there's so much I still need to go over, but again, if you want to see it, I will dedicate an entire video towards the in-game screenshots we saw in this article and really go over them in detail and go in depth. But that is it for now. I encourage all of you to actually buy this issue and show that indie games have a place in big name gaming magazines. Thanks for watching, everyone. I got loads of other Silksong content on this channel and a lot other stuff planned, so please check it out if you enjoyed this video. I also want to thank the editor Chen for answering all my questions I had beforehand regarding this interview. Also thanks to all of you people who subscribed in this month, it has been a nice ride these last few weeks. But, one thing, look at Graph. What does Graph tell you? Exactly. If everyone already subscribed, we would be closing in on 100,000 subscribers, which would mean I would release my Sold OnlyFans account, baby! Anyway. Thanks to my new Patreons Neville Astonite, Captain Barn and Eric Snyder, alongside my older Patreons Evil Scientist and Keith Redacted. Thank you so much, you have no idea how much those few bucks actually help me out. This is it from me in 2020, I hope you start 2021 well, or as we say in Austria, ich wünsche euch einen guten Rutsch ins neue Jahr, and I got a lot planned in 2021, so yeah, see you next year.